Okay, hello everyone. Um, I just wanted to go over quickly what I'm expecting, excuse me, for the computer lab or for the lab for the module 2, because there were some questions about it. So before I start in the lab, if you go back into the assignments, let's take a look at the assignment 1, and make sure you go through the overview. But beneath the review questions, essentially you'll be tasked to follow the steps in part 2 to begin to build your final project. So first steps in developing a database. So remember, we're starting at a very rudimentary point. So the first thing you should do is select one of these 3 systems, and these are systems that you're going to build a database for. The first system is the pizza ordering system. And yes, you'll have to critically think through what this means. The second system is an on-demand streaming service, such as Netflix. The last is a database for a book library. And then the second, you'll begin to put together a requirement document for this system. A requirement document is basically outlining what the system is, what the database is going to do for this particular scenario or system. You want to select a name, give your little, if you want to call it a company or just a scenario, just give it a name, and then at least 3 requirements for the system. For example, in the pizza ordering system, one requirement is to allow clients to place orders. Another requirement to allow clients to select extra toppings, etc. So please read through these, because this will give you an idea of how you're going to build your database system, including what is known as an entity relationship diagram, or the ERD, and basically plot your work in one doc, etc. So if we go back out to the lab for module 2, the lab just basically, after you thought about what system you selected, and please read the overview, understand what attributes and entities are in a database system, that you will have to read through those. And just to give you a quick overview, basically attributes are the main components, and entities are how they are connected. So in the lab, you want to define the entities of your system, giving the system requirement you specified. Define the attributes of each entity. So attributes is as I said, entities are the components, like a login system or an ordering system, and the attributes would be, like username, password, etc. So that's just a brief overview. You want to define the relationships between the different entities, the different main components, and then this is how you build your ER diagram or your ERD. And you'll have to read about what an ERD is and how that's associated with a database, a DBMS, or database management system. And that's what I'm looking for. This is quite a bit of work to essentially complete a pretty, basic product of your thought processes. So I was going to show an example of, maybe I'll do that. Let me just give you a very brief idea of what an entity relationship diagram. Obviously, I will allow you to use just about any tool to create your ERD, from Word to Excel, whichever you prefer, even a drawing tool. I will recommend one to you that will definitely help. It's called, I forgot what it's called. Give me 1 second. Lucid Chart, LUCID chart. So go ahead and Google that. It does have a trial version that you don't have to pay for, and you can actually import, your database into the Lucid Chart and it will actually create a ERD for you. If more people have questions on Wednesday, I think I'm going to walk through how Lucidchart works, just give you a brief idea and help you to begin to design your database management system. So let me see, I thought I had one in this computer, but let's just, you can Google an ERD, and this is what these are. If you look at a regular ERD, take a look at this one here. Basically, you have your tables and your field names, and then the relationship between the two. This is what I'm looking for, at least at this point, as far as an ERD. And yes, this actually highlights the tool Lucidchart. And basically, you just have to sign up, walk through. I would definitely recommend watching the brief videos on Lucidchart, and that's a very, very useful tool to create an ERD. Once again, it's just another tool. You can obviously use your own creative, prowess to create an ERD, an entity. Excuse me. An entity relationship diagram is just a way to visually represent your tables or your database in and of itself, and primarily your tables and columns, etc. And from this point, I will definitely accept just a high level of what your entities are. So, all right, so that's our brief overview of, let's see, yeah, you don't need to see all that. Oh, back to module. So if you have any questions, please feel free. This is Monday. I mean, once again, I suggest getting in there, building kind of an outline of what you're having issues with. Based on the grading, I've completed the grading from week 1. You're all doing most of you are doing really good. Make sure you read all the requirements of the assignments. I do want to remind you of that. Each assignment or each module has several components. So don't miss any of them. For example, in module 2, after you've gone through the overview and the learning materials, which are very, very important, when you open up the assignment itself, you can see that it has review questions and then what I went through briefly. All right. That's about it. So once again, let me know if you have any questions about the assignments or what I'm expecting. And I plan to hold and I'll add this to announcements, but probably I'll hold a regular Zoom meeting on Wednesdays and Sunday. Wednesday will be essentially a review of the assignment. Where are you? Do you need any assistance or any detailed explanations? And then we'll go from there. And then Sunday will be just a review of the week, and then essentially give you a kind of a preface for the upcoming week. All right. Take care, and just be patient as we go through all this COVID-19 and social distancing and all that. So, all right, you all take care.